So item number C, we had a workshop on this Lakefront Master Plan, and there was a lot of comments I felt between the council and the firm that did the work. There was no change to the master plan between the workshop and what's presented to us today. I had a lot of concerns. I know that some of them weren't. I didn't have three people with the same concerns, but I felt like there was a consensus about the intensity of the plan at the lakefront, particularly the plan sheets that show retail, hotel, restaurant, civic center uses all being down at the Marina. And I've been assured by staff, that this is a master plan and it's a conceptual idea, but I think we make the argument to the latter all the time, like this is the guiding document. This is what we're trying to do, so I'm okay adopting the master plan, but I would like to strike some of the uses down at the lakefront. And, I personally enjoy when I go somewhere, like I just was in the Bahamas, and like it was undeveloped, there's trees and grass and open space, I just feel like the plan that we're doing for the lakefront is too intense. I would like to see some natural open space, where you can enjoy nature and birds. I mean, if you follow Mr. Askew on social media, he takes beautiful photos every morning down at the lakefront of the birds and the nature, and I just would like to make sure that we're trying to preserve that. And I wanted to see how the rest of the council felt about the intensity shown near the marina, and if there was maybe two more of you who felt the same way.
Councilmember Trace.
Thank you. I had the same comments during my agenda review of I don't want to give the false pretense that we're okay with every single thing in this document when we adopt the master plan. So I think if we just add some comments on the record that can be kind of added to the cover page or something of the report, and we can, I agree that intensity and some of the uses in the middle portion I don't agree with, but both ends, great. Let's add more boat ramps. Let's get the jet skis separate from everything else, and it's just a matter of what's in the middle, and it's really, in my mind, how we spend the dollars too, because if you try to adopt everything that's going on in that middle part, it's $20-30 million, which we don't really have all at once. So it's like we're taking the splash pad and just moving it over to a new spot. It's like, why are we doing that? Why don't we just kind of be a little bit more frugal with the money in some of that area? So I agree with you, and I don't know how you want to add that to a motion.
Do we have one more?
I would agree with you, but I would assume council down the road is going to make some of those decisions as well. I mean, we're just setting the stage for the funding and the grants and stuff to come through, and I'm going to assume that's going to take a little while. But not that I want to scratch the whole thing, no, absolutely not. But I think it's going to end up being a council decision anyways when the grants come through and the money starts, when we start developing it, just like we have a say now. So.
Yeah. My worry is that someone just starts going down the direction of this, and then it comes back and it's like, whoa, let's just erase a year worth of your work to, that wasn't really, we weren't all on the same page. So that's my worry. I don't want people wasting a bunch of time.
That's 1,000% how I feel. I don't want to scrap the whole plan. I think there's a lot of good stuff. I just think particularly the section by the marina with the hotel restaurant, the civic center, retail, that's just a lot. And so I did mention that in my agenda review, like, I guess I could make a motion to approve it but strike some of the uses, or I guess I'm going to look to our attorney to give me some guidance on how to do it. But I feel the same way. Like, I feel like we can't talk out of both sides of our mouth. Like, all the time we're like, it's in the master plan, that's what we're doing. But then, here I'm like, I don't like these uses. Well, it's just a master plan, and, we don't have to do exactly what's on the master plan. It's like, I feel like we're kind of talking out of both sides.
The appropriate procedure would be to approve it if that is the intention of the council. Of course, you can move to add comments that will serve as direction moving forward. So you're not striking at this portion. You're approving it. You're approving the funding. Your comments would be noted, and that would be considered as the project progresses.
So you can't say removing this use? You're just saying it's a comment that may or may not be followed in the future?
Well, ultimately, it's going to come before the council anyway. So I thought your intention was to make sure that your comments were noted and that you have a motion as to those comments. And then as the project progresses, those comments would be taken into consideration, in fact, serve as a direction as the project proceeds. Unless it is the intention of the council to strike?
My intent was to strike it. I mean,
I would support that.
and that's why I was going to do it in a comment to say eliminate these uses. I mean, that's my intention. I just think it's too intense. So I'm going to make a motion. So I'll make a motion. Go ahead, Mr. Trace.
I was going to add to it before you make the motion of maybe we direct the city manager to throw some funds behind further scoping and getting a little bit more detail into that lakefront area. Because if we just strike it, then there's a hole there, and we just maybe we just give a little bit extra funds to figure out exactly what we want there and what makes sense.
For me, it's a concept. It's going to have to come back before us. We'll have plenty of time to say, that's too much there, that's too intense there. But for us here to try and amend this master plan, to me, that is not wise. And I would be against it. I understand your concern, but I have no problem with, let's move forward. Here's something we're aiming at, but it can certainly be adjusted. It can certainly be amended. It will come back before not only this council, but in a lot of what we're looking at, it's going to come back before a lot of councils. Why should we make the decisions right now for everything that's going to happen down there as far as we're going to eliminate this or eliminate that? Let's deal with what we got, and let's view it what it's for. It's a concept. And we still have plenty of opportunity to eliminate stuff on down the road, but I wouldn't recommend doing it now.
And Councilmember Matheny, that's why the suggestion would be, your motion is as to comments, because your concern, and I think other council members, is to provide some direction as the project is proceeding. I understand your concern about time being wasted, but this project is going to come before you several times, and you'll have the opportunity to opine and, of course, make determinations as to the plan. Striking without consideration as to striking but for what, I would suggest is too early at this phase to do that.
Okay, so where are the comments going to go? Are they going to be printed on the cover of the master plan? Are they going to be buried in the agenda that no one will read, or think to pull up to see if there's a comment? Can they be typed on the cover of the master plan?
They're on the record, and yes, they can be typed on the cover to be included as part of the master plan.
Okay. All right, I'll make a motion that these comments get printed on the cover of the master plan in big bold letters and not buried inside of an agenda that no one will ever see. That the intensity of uses at the center of the master plan by the Marina is too intense, and that in future, future evaluations will better refine this area. And I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second, Councilmember Trace. Any other comment? Madam Clerk? Oh, do we have any public comment? Thank you, Trace. If not, Madam Clerk?
Councilmember Askew,
Nay.
Councilmember Trace,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Matheny,
Aye.
Councilmember Urban,
Aye.
Mayor Blackwell.
No.
Motion carries 3-2.